Alright, Archero 2 and farming chapters. A lot of us throughout the game will end up getting stuck on a sky tower. Usually it's going to be one of the boss boards there, and you'll find yourself that you can't advance any further inside a chapter. And this is where farming really comes in handy because you want to use up all that energy that you have. Now, for some of us, there is the situation like myself where I'm far enough in the sky tower, but I'm slacking on the chapters, stuck on chapter 57. So I could go back and farm one of the previous ones, but myself, I like to go and just see if I can beat this, and I'll play this thing over and over until hopefully one of these days I beat it. But your big goal when you go to bed at night should be the fact that you want to make sure you don't have any energy sitting in the pot up there. You want to use it all up, and one of the best ways to do it is by farming earlier chapters. Now, I myself, I don't really farm that much because I happen to have the hunting card, and this makes it where I can go and do unlimited quick hunts based by how much energy I have. And honestly, this is something that I really love in the fact that I can just go overhit the button, save myself a whole bunch of time, and the rewards are still pretty nice. But if you are one that you are sitting on a bunch of energy and you've been asking that question of which is the best chapter to farm to get the gear, the runes, the gold, and even the experience. And before we talk about which one's the best, there's some other things you should consider. So I did just say how great the quick hunts were, and we have obviously the quick hunt rewards. There's 2 of them every single day. You go over those, you complete it or clear it, you're going to be getting yourself a ticket. And this is a great way to go because on top of getting the ticket, you just cleared a chapter, you farmed it, you get all the rewards from doing that too. But the other thing you should really consider is going to be the star challenge themselves. Now this is something you can clearly see I have been slacking on doing this, but I am going to go bang through them this weekend. I've been so focused on getting past chapters that I've been neglecting going back and playing the earlier ones. But there's some really good benefits of doing this. Yeah, not everybody wants to go back and play chapter 1 or chapter 2, but number 1, you're going to get yourself to become a better player because a lot of these you're going to have to do it without taking a certain number of hits. So you're going to really work on your skill work of this, of making sure you're taking less damage inside the game. This will also help you get familiar with the mobs, the bosses, and even just pairing up certain skill sets. But the best part about all of this is if you go and complete 6 chapters, get the 3 stars for every single one, there's a big gem reward at, say, every 18 stars. Yeah, we'll get some gems in between of 3, 6, and so on, but that 18 one looks to be pretty nice, and this could really help you pull the gear, wishes, or whatever else you want to use it on. So if you've done your daily hunts, you've done your star challenges, and you can't really get any more stars, then comes the question of which one should you actually farm. And really the best case scenario is going to be going for the highest chapter you can that you can complete almost all the way through. I'd like to see somewhere like stage 40 to stage 50, but really the one with the most is going to be the best. Now, if you are trying to do this fast and save some time, playing the highest chapter might take longer than expected. And don't think just because it is a 6-minute board like chapter 56 here, this one actually took me 14 minutes to complete, and the fact that I had to fight those bosses for so long. So where that first 3 minutes and that second 3 minutes is only 6, we had an additional 8 minutes of just going up against the boss. Now I myself would prefer to go in on the time ones there, the 6 minutes. I'd go for a lesser one that's not going to take me 14, but that way I can just sit there, camp out with a tracking eye, and just burn through these things and not pay too much attention to it. And where most of you will probably say, well, everything drops from the bosses, that's where you're going to get a majority of it, so go and fight one where you have 5 bosses. And honestly, between recordings that I've made and looking at those final rewards, these time ones didn't really seem to be any different from the ones I went with the chapters. And that's the same thing with the waves on the floor. It really seemed like throughout of these, I either got 1 piece of gear and 2 runes, or I got 2 pieces of gear and 1 rune. And when it came to the golden scrolls, I think that was just really a lot dependent on the wheel in the beginning and what I got out of that. So I'd say if you're like me and you did want to just camp out and do nothing and let the mobs come to you, those time ones or the wave boards are probably going to be the best case scenario. But one thing you want to make sure you don't do is if you're having a bad run on it, don't go and just force close the game and say, I'm going to quit and go home. You want to at least go and sacrifice yourself, run into a mob, and let the game kill you on its own. That way you'll get the rewards, the experience, the gold, and any gear or runes that have dropped already, so you can at least advance yourself into getting a little bit of farm. So there's my take on it there. Use up your quick hunts. If you have the unlimited one, that's great. Other than that, do your daily hunts, do your stars, and then if you have none of that stuff left that you can do, go in and just sit there on a wave or a time chapter. If you think you got a better way to do it, let us know down in the comments so we could really help out everybody on this, because this is something that everybody likes to know. But if you're sitting there wondering about these 3 S-grade weapons and how they really work and what's some of the hidden stuff that they do on them, take a look at this video right here. Thanks for watching, and remember, I pick my butt.